Anyway.
How old were you when you had your first pro wrestling match?
I was 24.
Wow.
24 years old. So how about this? So again, like we were saying earlier, football for me was a ticket. Like that was the thing that I was really going to make it. And then I didn't. And I thought I'm going to shift my focus onto something I think I'm going to love. I think it's in here, passion. It's pro wrestling. And so I'll tell you a quick story. So my coach from Calgary, I played up in the CFL. I got cut from the CFL. He got cut in October of 95. He calls me in December of 95 and says, hey, I want you to know, even though we cut you, I want to bring you back next season. Think you got some real potential. I want to have you back. Dude, so I'm on the phone. It's one of those old-ass phones that are on the wall. I'm on the phone. I see my dad over there in the chair. My dad's just an old-time grizzly wrestler. We're living in his little apartment in Tampa. My mom's over there on the couch. And I tell the coach quietly, Wally Buono's his name. Great guy. I said, hey, thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. But I'm going to have to close this chapter in my life. And he's like, I hear him kind of softly talk. Okay, yeah. And I said, so thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hung up the phone. My dad said, who was that? I said, oh, it was a coach from Calgary. He said, what do you want? Oh, he wanted to offer me another contract for next year. By the way, the contract was, like, I was making $300 a week, Canadian.
Wow.
So there was no money up there, at least not for me. And he goes, so when are you going to go? My old man said this. I said, I'm not. He said, what do you mean you're not? I said, I think I'm done. I'm done with football and the pursuit of it. It's just not in my cards. He said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to get in the business. He went, what business? I said, the wrestling business. Dude, we got in the biggest fucking fight.
Really?
The biggest.
He didn't want you to do it?
He didn't want me to do it. But my old man was a groundbreaker, first black tag team champions in WWE. He was jacked. Pull up my dad if you can. Rocky Johnson. I want to show you. Like he was
I know your dad.
Jacked, man.
He was jacked.
He was part of that group in the early 80s, right? Who were like bodybuilding and look at that shot.
What? Dang it. That's the genetics, son.
That's it, brother.
That's where rock genetics come.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh, my God. He was jacked.
So, yeah, and we bonded. He used to get me up and take me to the gym when I was 5, sit in the corner, and that's how I got to, really bond my dad. He didn't want me to do it. And we got into the biggest fucking fight. My mom's crying. I'm crying. And he said, what do you think you have to offer? I said, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to fucking suck, but I got to give this a shot. And ultimately it got to a place where I said, either you're going to help train me, I'm asking you to help train me, or I'll go to somebody else. And at that time, Bret Hart and that whole family had his dungeon up in Calgary. I said, maybe I'll go to Calgary. He agreed to train me, but I realized he didn't want to see that happen because he felt like, hey, look around. Like I was one of the successful ones in wrestling, but I got a little fucking apartment that I can't even afford to pay $500 a month. I don't want this for you. So we got into a huge fight. He eventually trained me. I call a guy after 3 months of training, call a guy named Pat Patterson, who was Vince McMahon's right-hand man, very brilliant mind in the world of pro wrestling, first openly gay wrestler, tough motherfucker. I call him up because my parents knew him, and I said, hey, Pat, this is Dwayne Johnson. Who? Dwayne Johnson. Rocky Johnson's son. Oh, yeah, what do you want? Hey, I'm training to get in the business. What fucking business? It's a recurring theme. Everybody's like, what fucking business? The wrestling business. Why the fuck do you want to do that? You're just feeling like you're just getting bombed right, left and right by these OGs. So I said, I'd love for you to come down and just watch me train. And if I got anything to offer, just let me know. And if I don't, just let me know. That's all I want. He agreed. He came down, watched me train. He said to me as we're training, he goes, can you work as a heel? Which is, as you know, bad guy in wrestling parlance. Yeah. I said, sure, I'd love to. We start the match. I work as a heel, more aggressive, dirty, cheating stuff, right? He goes, okay, done. And I had trained in a boxing ring, and as you know, boxing rings are fucking hard. It's like this, right? So getting suplexed on a fucking table, so it really hurt. That's how I came up in wrestling. He's smoking a cigarette. I said, what do you think? Do I have anything? He goes, yeah, you just keep working. Take care of yourself, and leaves. And I was like, did I just fuck, because he had a lot of power. He was like the vice president of WWE. I said, okay, well, thank you so much for coming out. And I said, just keep working. He goes, just keep working. Kind of blew me off, kept smoking a cigarette and walked off. And I was like, man, I think I really fucked things up, or maybe I'll take his word for face value, take it for gospel. I'll just keep working. Little I knew, he went home and he called Vince McMahon. He said, you got to see this fucking kid. And Vince said, who? Rocky Johnson's son. He goes, all right, let me see him. Bring him out this Monday on Raw, and I'll throw him out in a match before the show starts.
Whoa.
Corpus Christi, 15,000 people.
Whoa.
Dude.
This is your first match?
First match.
Oh, my God.
So Vince says to Pat, okay, great. How long has he been working? He goes, he hasn't worked. He goes, what do you mean? He's never had a match. He's like, he's never had a fucking match? I'm not bringing him out. He's never had a match. He's going to stink up the ring. Pat said, just trust me. So they fly me out, Corpus Christi, 14,000 people. I go out and have my first match, and I'm 24 years old.
Wow.
I have my first match. Because usually when you break in, you're wrestling at a farm or there's a barn, 10 people, 14,000 people. I wrestled the Brooklyn Brawler, who's famous in the world of wrestling. And I get backstage. Everyone's, hey, great job, keep working. I see Vince McMahon. He says, you did a good job. But be prepared. I'm going to give you a little bit more tomorrow. I went, great, okay. I see Pat Patterson smoking a cigarette. Come here for a second. I said, yeah. He goes, your punches. I went, yeah. They fucking suck. Just riding me. So that was my first match, first experience, man.
Wow.
Yeah. And then he by the way, he said, if you have a shred of opportunity to make it in this business, you're going to have to learn a lot of shit, but learn how to throw a great punch.
What was